Your 30s are like way better than your 20s. Yeah, 100%. It's very the 30s are your 20s, except you like kind of get it now a little better. You're a little more sure of like who you are, what the world is like, what you care about. You care less about stupid shit on average. Yeah, it feels like 30s when life actually starts. Yeah, I think 20s tend to feel more like you're stumbling through it. And you're like faking it till you make it, you know? And then you get a little established. You've gone through life for a bit, so you feel comfortable, and now you hit your 30s, and then you're like, okay, well, now I'll like live comfortably, normally, and spend my time how I want, etc., etc. So it tends to be better for a lot of people. A lot of older folks, when you ask them to look back and be like, what age would you want to go back to? Or like, what era would you want to relive? A lot of the time they're like, oh, my 30s. 100%. I actually have money in my 30s. Yeah, I feel like times is hard, but typically people are doing better in their 30s than 20s, 100% with the money situation. Yeah. It's at least better, usually. Germa blew up in his 30s. You too can be Germa. I think a lot of streamers that are doing well right now started doing way better as they got older. Actually, NL is a good example. He's been around for forever. And I feel like he's always doing kind of well. But he didn't become like a name that I heard other streamers all talking about. I didn't hear him like being mentioned in other types of communities until very recently. I don't know. Millennials are so hot right now. So hot right now, dude. It's true. What tip can you give to someone in his early 20s? Don't put spaces at the end of your sentence before your punctuation, dude. Also, it's his, like, H-I-S. Max dude hit his stride in his mid-30s? Yep. I think, don't be fucking stupid. But the best way to not be stupid is to just constantly hold yourself back so you think a little more. I think when you're younger, you feel much more impulsive, more impatient, etc. A lot of people just rush to do shit. Just constantly hold back and sit there to let yourself think for a moment before doing something. I find people are way more impulsive in their 20s. If you are the type to be really careful, though, I would give you the opposite. Maybe you are that person. You're very, very careful and you don't take leaps of faith. Then it's the opposite. So I guess the general advice is just do things that are not typical of yourself, and try that out now, because it's likely that you're going to be a certain way throughout your 20s. And then in your 30s, you're going to look back and go, I should not have only been that way. People tend to get very stubborn and do things the one way they know how, because they don't have experience of trying out living in different ways, right? So a lot of people's 20s are very formative in that if you're a passive person, for example, you never learn to assert yourself. You finally assert yourself once toward the end of your 20s, and then you're like, oh, wait, I should have been doing that all along, right? Vice versa. Maybe you're super assertive, but you like never take a step back and listen to others. You finally do it when you hit like 31, and then you're like, uh-oh, I should have done that, you know? So whatever like way you are, whatever type of person you are, try the opposite shit in your 20s and see what makes sense for you, and kind of you can work into yourself a little bit. Because yeah, like you said, you're like playing catch up now. A lot of people feel that way. Yeah. A lot of people feel that way. He said you were a workaholic in your 20s, left it without any real friends. Now you're in your 30s, and you're attending parties and going on trips with friends. Yeah, I literally never, I never went on a trip or vacation that was pure recreation until way later. And even then, that's still rare. But now I try to like go to like family or something and just hang out for a bit. You know, if they're a little farther, maybe I will take 2 days to go stay with them or something, you know, instead of being like, oh, when I have a work thing down there, then I'll see you briefly, right? Like shit like that. All the traveling I did was almost always like work related or something similar, you know? Yeah. Yeah, I feel you. I'd just try everything, I would say too. Just try everything. And don't let shit happen like too fast. I think that's the other thing, is if you spend all your time just doing, your 20s are going to go by way too fucking quick. At the same time, if you're doing nothing, you're at home bed rotting all the time, and you're doing nothing, go do something. So, right. So whatever your natural state is right now, I feel like people in their 20s are likely to just kind of stay doing the same thing a lot because it's what they're comfortable with. Push yourself and do something else. A lot of people don't really like try shit until their 30s when a friend convinces them to try something that they haven't tried before. And it's very worth doing stuff like that earlier because then, you know, while you're like young and apt, you want to have as much time as you can to do this stuff. Like I've got a lot of friends that I've gotten into, you know, going to the park to go for walks, go on a hike, things like this. And they really liked it, but they didn't start until a lot later. And they were like, wow, I should have been doing this the whole time. I could have had a great time and spent way less money, you know, way less money doing this as an activity because I really like it than some of the other shit I did. And I'm like, yeah, it could have been a good hobby for you. But, you know, almost 21, still haven't started college. How cooked am I? Well, what do you want to do? Did you take a gap year and then just stay there? I mean, I think if you've been working, you have more work experience than anyone else your age. If you've been working, depends on what. But there are so many jobs that you can do that don't actually need a full degree, or you can get that degree and it'll help you, but it won't actually teach you anything. So you could just get by on work experience and aptitude, etc. So it depends on what you're trying to do. But I don't think there's ever a bad time to go back. I really don't think that there is a bad time. Marine bio? Oh yeah, whatever. Study that whenever you want to go for it. You're not going to be at any sort of disadvantage at all. If anything, they might like you better if they're interviewing you and you're just like a little bit older. Than some dude who's like 22 is like, I want to be a marine biologist, you know? But go and get a job at an aquarium doing something that maybe you don't need that marine bio experience for. Maybe you're just like doing like shitty work, but go be there and show face, and there's a chance you might be able to get something eventually. Maybe you work at a factory that makes things relating to that, and they also have like fish farms, whatever, and they need someone to do annoying, difficult, backbreaking work, you know, etc. Being in that environment might lead you to something good. So, you know, I would still put yourself in that environment, like a tuna canning factory. I don't know about that. More like the fish farm part, but you know, you're 28 when you went back to college after military. Yeah, I know a lot of people that have gone a bit later, and it was totally fine for all of them. It was totally fine. And so I would just do it. I know plenty of people that did take like a gap year or two to work first so that they could get some money to have, so that way they could then go to school and have funds and not have to work through it the whole time, just for extra shit. And it worked out. I think it mattered more if you were like pushing yourself to be married by 25 and you were old fashioned like that, you know. Then it matters to go to school earlier and get out of school and have a job early because, you know, like the clock's ticking kind of thing. But if that's not a concern of yours, then I really don't think the timing matters that much. The only thing that does is the earlier you're working and the earlier you're putting money away, the earlier you can start retirement funds and you can start contributing to them. Starting that as early as possible is important. That is the only thing that like really I would say matters. Outside of that, Ooh, your job offers 100% tuition reimbursements. You went back to 25. That's really good, dude. That's really good. Really, really, really nice. Maximizing my Roth IRA and my brokerage accounts. Yeah. Dude, it's tough out here as a streamer trying to figure that shit out. In a good way. Man. Tiring this economy. Hey. Fake it till you make it, I always say. Fake it till you make it, man.
The real currency is dried seeds, okay? Because when the rapture comes and some of us are left behind, when the world dies, you're gonna need to grow vegetables to live.